Hey, how are you?
Hi, finally got there.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, I know I found her. I know I found her. And when you sent that message, I was like, oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently I was dialing somebody and they kept hanging up on me.
Really?
Yes.
I thought I was the only one that had that name.
No, someone else has it and there's no photo. So.
No, yeah. I put my EP cover as a profile pic.
Okay. Not a problem.
Cool.
Let me get out of this. But yeah, I was just before I get into the video, just so you know, I'm the runner. My name's Todd. And
hi, Todd.
How are you? It's a pleasure.
Same.
I search the internet and I find artists that I like with a different sound. And I like to promote them. Especially after I investigate and communicate. And I like to communicate with the artists that I upload to my radio station. And I was just scouring the internet and I saw it wasn't just the music; it was your image.
Yeah.
And it was interesting the fuzzy, glitchy.
The VHS.
Yeah, the VHS is pretty. That was pretty neat. So that was great marketing on your behalf.
Cool.
But introduce yourself, because I did research the internet. I found a few things, and just so you know, this is low pressure. I shoot from the hip. I try to keep it very casual. I'm not trying to intimidate or ask these blasted questions. Shotgun approach.
Yeah.
Be very relaxed. So I kind of build as the conversation goes. So just it should be really chill. And what I like to do is I like to play some of your music in the background, and when I wrap up the video and I upload it, I will play your music and have the name of the song on the video, so people know what it is. Okay, so just tell me about your who you are, background, so everyone knows who you are, because you're in a pool with a lot of different artists, and I want to get you out of that and play your music and so that people know who you are and where to find you. So,
okay. Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me because I'm not used to talking about myself as an artist. I'm so used to just being one, just creating music. But I produce, I write, and I sing all my own material. And I started to do it seriously probably 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
So a lot of my music, sonically speaking, is kind of really inspired by cinema, particularly old Hollywood. David Lynch, Twin Peaks specifically. So I think I go for that horror soundtrack style. So I don't know how to explain it, but I think my music, if anything, really belongs to the 80s horror soundtrack type music. That's how I feel. And I work alone, so I don't really collaborate with anyone else. So it's a very kind of isolated experience making my music. And I do all my own kind of images as well. I make my own videos. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, no, it does, because I'm going to tell you, I was actually looping your video back here. But what I was doing when I typically research, one thing about me is my music is very eclectic. And if you look at my radio station, I play everything, but I play the music that inspired me years ago, that I grew up on, that defines who I am. So when I listened to your music, I kept playing it, and I'm like, this is really different. And I'm going to tell you who I thought about. Okay. The Spielberg movies. Stephen King.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I really love Stephen King.
Stephen King came to mind, and I'm like, I remember when Stephen King was a thing, and then they had a bunch of music in the movies. And there's a common theme there, and I guess when as I listen to your music, I can see where you're developing that sound, because it is
Fantastic, yeah.
It's truly an emotional experience. A lot of people who do music, a lot of artists, they use emotion. The best music comes from emotion. But I could totally see it and visualize it. So I started doing some research, and obviously you're aware of the Netflix show Stranger Things.
Yeah,
they brought that. They brought that back as well.
Yeah.
And Twin Peaks, it was funny because I actually bought the Twin Peaks soundtrack when I was in college. Actually,
oh really?
Yeah, because I think Twin Peaks came out in the early
92, like 91, yeah.
Was it 91? Okay, because I was in college in 94. And, when you used to be able to buy a bunch of CDs with those different companies, I bought Twin Peaks and I loved it. And I actually started watching it Thursday just to get a feel, because I was doing this interview. And I still can't watch it. I like the music, but I can't watch the show. Because
really?
No.
I think it's an acquired taste, that's why. Yeah.
Well, I think after seeing, think about it. What was made in the early 90s versus today?
Yeah.
It's like you have to throttle down for me to watch it and be patient enough to watch the mystery behind Twin Peaks and the murder.
Yeah.
So, but I totally, the music I still like because it was different, it was cutting edge, and that's what really brought people to watch it. Was the soundtrack. So
it was the first of its kind as well.
Exactly. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I found your music on, what's it called? I don't want to lose my place here. Amazing Tunes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
A Siren's Call.
Now, okay.
So I'm going to play a little bit of that and let me know if it's too loud.
Okay, cool.
So I do this for the...
it's not actually my vocals, but just okay.
So this is called A Siren's Call in Amazing Tunes.
Yeah.
So, did you do the music?
I produced the music, but I actually went to New York, and the vocals on that track belong to my cousin.
Really?
Yeah, Mele, who's a singer, and her friend from university, Daniel. So I went over there to kind of lay down some tracks, like maybe 3 or 4, and I ended up doing like 1. But this was the track that I did, and I had it on SoundCloud for like a couple of years. And then I'd taken it down because I thought I wanted to streamline it a bit. But I've been meaning to kind of revisit that track and maybe kind of remix it, maybe, because the vocals are beautiful on it. So
yes,
I haven't heard it in a while.
I'm going to tell you because it is a stark contrast, and it's. I'm not going to say that. Yeah. It's not a polarizing difference between the two. What I've listened to now. Born by cancer, out of cancer, versus this. But I will tell you, I'm a remix fan, and vocals define a remix. Yeah, you can read unless you're doing trap or something. Yeah, but this is beautiful.
Yeah, well, that's because of Mele and Daniel.
the music behind it, though, just
yeah.
You need to remix this.
Yeah. I will. I definitely will. It's funny that you played that because I was thinking about it like a couple of days ago of actually kind of revisiting that track and maybe fiddling around with it.
I'm telling you, it's beautiful, and I think that you're being remiss if you let that go.
No, I won't. See, the thing is, I'm really good at like never letting anything go to waste. So I always, no matter how many tracks I've done, I always use it. So if I start a track and I give up on it, I will come back to it maybe in a couple of months or whatever. But I think with this track, I do like it a lot, and I like it specifically because of the vocals. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it deserves. I feel like I've got better as a producer as well in that time frame. So I feel like I can make it better.
Well, it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because I interviewed a band out of Norway called Atella, and we were talking about this very thing where, and I did the same thing. I mean, when I started back in 2006, I was, I was a novice and I was teaching myself. And you create all these tracks and you don't finish them because you're like, well, one, you're tired of hearing it because you listen to it hundreds of times trying to change it. But through your musical career, you learn new processes, new instruments, and then you hear that song that you put back on the back burner, and you're like, I know that'll go well with that. And so we talked about that, and they have several songs that they went and revisited, and it's just interesting how but there are some artists, once they give up on a track, they let it go.
I admire them for that. That to me is amazing. I can't do that because I feel like I'm wasting it. It's like I need to use it. I may never be inspired again. So
exactly.
Whatever I have, yeah.
I mean, that's your time. That's your intellectual property, and why not finish it? Go back and add different elements to it. But
going back to the point about revisiting stuff, the track that I sent to you, the Chappaquiddick one, it was a track I had composed 3-4 years ago. And then I revisited it and then remixed it and slowed down the vocals and everything. So when I first composed it, I didn't like it. So I kind of left it for like years. And then I came back to it and thought, actually, I can make this work. Now that I feel more comfortable and confident as a producer to make it work. But never let anything go to waste.
No.
You never know when you might need it.
That's right. That's right. So first, let's back up. Tell me about the name. Where'd you derive the name?
So I'm a really big fan of Tennessee Williams.
Okay.
And Cat on a Hot Tin Roof is one of my favourite films and favourite plays. And I actually, to be fair, didn't come up with the name. It was my sister. So I was trying to come up with an artist name to use to put my music up online because I felt I wasn't yet comfortable to I didn't feel confident enough as an artist to let my friends know that I was doing this. So I thought if I came up with an alias, it might make me feel more comfortable putting my music out there. And she just came up with it on the spot, Hail Maggiedacat. And then I said, maybe let's change it and make it a bit more urban with the da. And then we were like, okay. And then I used it since.
No, it's nice. It really is. It defines who you are. Yeah. It's pretty neat. So let me. I thought I had your SoundCloud. But while I pull that up, let's talk about which I found very interesting. Pop Noir.
Pop Noir.
Explain what that is.
I feel like Pop Noir is the sonic equivalent of film noir. So it's very dark, very melodic, and menacing, and that's how I felt my music sounded like. So, and I think it's something that's been floating around for a while. I think there's a lot of artists out there right now who are described as being pop noir, like Lana Del Rey, The Weeknd.
Really, The Weeknd?
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, right.
But when I was reading, I can't remember who I was reading about, which artist, but they were talking about an artist, and that's when I first read that term, and I thought, well, that pretty much describes my music perfectly, especially because I'm so inspired by kind of cinematic scores and old Hollywood films. Mm-hmm. So I just went with that.
Okay. No. It's. I will say that because I'm so eclectic in my music, I get it. I totally get it, and I see where you got it from, going back to David Lynch and Twin Peaks, and that era, if you will.
Yeah.
And the way because it's like your music changed from you did, and I saw that, and I'm like, you know what? Because earlier, I think I read where you were someone said you had a Devante Swing theme. Now, I am very familiar with the late 80s, 90s music and the percussion. And I hear the percussion from that era in your music. So I researched Devante, and I'm like, the only resemblance I hear is the percussion.
Yeah.
And so am I spot on with that, or?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, because I really love Jodeci, but
yes,
I think funny enough, doing the percussion for me was actually the hardest part about producing. I struggled with that. Melodies came pretty quickly and easily for me, but when it came to composing drums, I really struggled. And it was after I listened to some Jodeci that I kind of figured out my style. And it wasn't, when you hear my music, you won't necessarily think Jodeci, but I felt that my drums and my percussions are very much inspired by 90s R&B, 90s American R&B. And my melodies are very much inspired by film scores. And I don't know, I feel like I marry them together. To make pop art. But yeah, the Devontae's Jodeci, 90s R&B, their influence, I think it's not directly linked to my music. You won't necessarily think of them when you hear my music, but I feel like for me, in the creative process, it has informed my music. I'm not sure whether people will hear that.
Well, no, I would say that a person with experience and a sharp ear can pick it up. Yeah. Can pick it up. Because I immediately, I read it, I listened to it, and I was actually, because what I do, and my wife, I play my music loud. So I can hear everything. I can hear that percussion. And I picked up on it, and so I started doing my research, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's Jodeci. And there were some other
things. I'm honored. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, no. You can totally hear it. And what's great about it is that you don't sound like Jodeci. You took the percussion and you made it work with your music. Yeah. So I love your Hail Maggiedacat theme.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that. And then I found like the outro. Yeah. Like yesterday, and I'm like,
really?
Yeah, I was searching, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. But it's you. You know what I mean? It's yours. It's yours.
I want it to be my kind of signature. Sound. Like how in there are producers that have is it mustard on the beat? I don't know their names, but in America anyway, American R&B, you have producers that will have they will sing their names at the beginning of the track.
Yeah.
I wanted to have kind of a sonic signature for me, so whenever if anyone's listening to my album, they'll know it's a Hail Maggiedacat song because they'll hear the intro.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of the rappers did that a lot too. They had an intro, they had an outro. I know Snoop Dogg did it.
Missy did it.
Missy did it. Yeah, they all did it, and it was pretty cool. Let me ask you, have you heard of Anderson .Paak?
No.
Oh.
No.
You should look him up.
Okay.
He's new, and his music, his album is very, very, it's in a way soulful, old school, but every track is different, and it's wonderful. Anyway, he's one of the new, I don't know if you would describe him as R&B, a hint of pop, but I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it.
Okay.
But anyway, back to Hail Maggiedacat. Let's listen to Born Under Cancer because that's a pretty unique title.
Yeah.
It is kind of melancholy.
Yeah.
Let's play just a bit of it and then let's talk about it. So here's Born Under Cancer. Might be a little too loud. And I like listening to this loud.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm happy it sounds good loud.
Yeah. Now, are the vocals yours?
Yeah. I slowed it down.
I'd like to hear this sped up.
Yeah?
Yes.
You can speed it up.
Well, I can in Logic. I can speed it in Logic.
Yeah.
So this is Born Under Cancer. So let me pause it.
Yeah.
So tell me, first of all, the name and, what, because it's a different song. It's a very different song. And tell me about the name.
I was born literally under Cancer. So that's my star sign.
Okay.
That's why. But the writing of the song was, so my process in writing is very informal. So I've always composed the track. I complete the track first, and then I will sit in front of the mic and kind of similar to a rapper, but not as skilled. But I will freestyle the lyrics until I find a structure, and then I will record it. So a lot of the stuff, a lot of the lyrics are kind of they weren't planned. They just came to me. So maybe that's why that it has kind of a nightmarish feel, or an ethereal feel about it, or a dreamlike feel. Because
it's ethereal.
It wasn't planned. It was almost pretty much through like free association. I just kind of thought of a word, then thought of another word that rhymed with it, and then just kind of snowballed from there. And then the song was completed, literally like that.
So it was spontaneous.
Like all my songs are, yeah.
No, I like it. I play it over and over again. Again, I like it loud.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So, and your late nights. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I told you I have a very eclectic background in music.
Yeah.
So this is called Late Nights.
Yeah.
We'll just hear a few. We'll talk about it. But I want you to guess who I think, or no, where this music would fit, and think about the time frame. 80s, 90s, based on your knowledge of music and the time.
Okay.
All right. So
I would say 90s, but I would tell you something first. So when I composed the track, there was a period last year where I was doing a lot of remixes, and I'd released an EP called Victories Under a Cat. No, Victories of a Cat. And that's a quote directly taken from Cat on Hot Tin Roof. And it was a remix I'd done with like SWV, Local Natives, and there was a remix that I had done with Faith Evans' track. And I forgot the title. I can't really forgot the title. But it was one of her tracks, Love Like This. And I had done a remix, and I didn't like the way the vocals matched with the backing track. So then I scrapped it, and then when I was trying to find new music for this EP, I literally stumbled across it on my iTunes, and I listened to it, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to write or freestyle some lyrics on the mic, and then that's how it came by. But I think I was kind of inspired by Faith Evans. I'm not sure whether that's what you were thinking, but that was for me.
Well, I'm going further. You know what that sounds like? Remember Miami Vice?
Yes.
You remember Tubbs?
Yeah.
He had a theme song. Whenever he would be in love or spending time with a female.
I'm going to check that out.
Check that out. That's what that reminded me of.
I need to check that out. That's really awesome, because that's like my favorite decade. 80s and 90s, well, two favorite decades. Okay.
Totally. It completely reminds me of Miami Vice, and the reason I say that is because my wife bought me the discs, the CDs a couple years ago, and I watch them periodically, but every time Tubbs got with a female or had a personal thing going, they would play his theme song, and that's what it reminded me of.
That's awesome.
So, so I thought...
I'm really flattered. That's like an amazing compliment, by the way.
But again, that's creativity,
Yeah.
That's your creativity. And I thought it was awesome, because I kept playing. I'm like, wait a minute. Did she sample that?
No, I know. I don't. I'm going to listen to it though. I'm really curious.
Okay. Well, yeah. It's pretty cool. It brought me back.
Yeah. Cool.
Then, okay, so let's talk about. Hang on. I see your SWV. Use your heart, and we'll play that one. A well-trimmed spot. So let's listen to that. A well-trimmed spot. Okay. And then let's talk about that. It's a well-trimmed spot. Is that percussion?
Yeah.
Now, who's doing the vocals?
Me. It was slowed down.
It's nice.
Thanks.
And again, that takes me back to exactly what you said, that Twin Peaks-ish, ethereal,
nightmare,
closing credits.
Yeah.
Of a good horror flick.
Yeah.
During that time. So, tell me about this song. How'd you come up with it? What influences did you have, and the name?
The name was really random. I just came up with it.
Okay.
But it was actually sort of inspired by Ernest Hemingway's short story, A Clean, Well-Lit Place. And I don't know, because I think I haven't yet kind of thought about my process seriously, because it's very sporadic and random. So the lyrics for that track, I didn't really realize until after it was completed what it was about. So when I heard it, like for the first time, once I completed it, like just sat down without kind of tweaking it or working on it, I realized the song was very ominous and sounded like I was talking about my imminent death or whatever. But that wasn't my intention when I was, singing it. But I don't know. I think for me, I'm still getting used to engaging lyrically. I think I'm so comfortable composing the track, and when I was composing this, I was thinking exactly what you just said, kind of a really exciting kind of fight sequence or a chase sequence in 80s thriller. And actually when I was composing it, Blade Runner kept playing through my head, scenes from Blade Runner, and I was like, this would be good. This reminds me of this scene. And so in my head, I think when I'm more engaged visually and sonically than I am lyrically. So I'm still getting there.
Oh, sure.
So I find it sometimes hard to talk about my writing process, because I don't really have one. My writing process is very similar to my composing, in that I just record whatever I receive, and then I will edit after. So there isn't I don't have any intentions, or there isn't a message, there isn't a clear picture I'm trying to project lyrically, but I feel I put a lot more effort sonically in my music. So when I compose a well-trimmed spot, I was thinking of this would be a really amazing title track for a great 80s thriller movie that had Harrison Ford in it or something. So yeah, I don't know.
No, that's perfect. I mean, that's really. I mean, I've interviewed a few artists, and no one really has a plan. Yeah. When they sit down, and they may have a plan for I don't know, different melodies, because like you said, melodies aren't that difficult to come up with, but they can be at times. Yeah. But people usually artists will play, and they say what comes to mind, what fits well with the song that they edit, and that's a sign of true creativity. What are your thoughts on all this new dance music that's out there, all the EDM and?
I'm not really a fan. There's some really good stuff that comes out, but a lot of the stuff that I think I would respond to are very melodic. So I'm not sure. Like the kind of music that I don't respond well to are songs like trance music. Yeah. That they're not melodic. They don't really have a structure. It's just kind of a continuous beat. Yeah, just throbbing But I think that you're not really meant to appreciate that music just sitting down doing nothing. It's meant to be kind of a part of an experience. You're meant to be doing something like dancing, or it's meant to be a backing track to a social experience rather than you just kind of sitting back, chilling, listening to music.
Right.
So I feel like maybe I'm not in the right. I'm not the kind of person that would listen to EDM because I'm not really the kind of person who's really into kind of clubbing and going to trance parties or jungle parties or whatever. But I mean, there's some stuff like Calvin Harris, or there's some of his stuff that I do actually like, but his stuff is very kind of traditional pop. Right. Really, he's not really a dance producer, except his beats are very fast. That's the only difference. But his stuff is very kind of contemporary pop. Mainstream,
right,
accessible.
I was just curious because your music is obviously it's in a different spectrum, different realm.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if
because I feel like my music, like say if EDM or trance or whatever, it's the type of music you listen to at between the times of 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. I feel like my stuff is the kind of music you listen to at 3 a.m. the kind of the wind down session, or like when you're kind of getting ready to sleep, or when you're kind of in that in between world, like you're half asleep, half awake. That's where I feel like my music would be.
Well, I play your music, I think, in the lounge segment. That's where I play your music because I think it fits well there. And it fits perfectly there. So what's next for you? And you said you really started pushing your music a couple years ago, and you had some trepidation sharing with friends that you're an artist. We all do because people's opinions they're opinionated. But I think I heard, I just heard recently from a Hollywood actor, you can't listen to naysayers. Obviously, you wouldn't be where you are. So, what's next for you? And are you working on any new material?
I am. I'm actually working on a new EP.
Okay.
I think now that I've become much more comfortable as an artist. I think it's just because my confidence has grown in my ability, technically speaking. So I no longer feel like I rely on the projection of how Maggiedacat. I'm very comfortable now kind of being open about that. I'm a producer, I sing, and I also write. And that process is much, much easier now, and I feel like the music comes a lot quicker. More quickly. But so I'm working on 3 new tracks, and it's very much in the vein of Born Under Cancer. It's very cinematic, kind of dark R&B pop. And I don't know, like I would like to hope that I will get a more dedicated listenership, or not fan base, but followers, people who are kind of intrigued by my music. I think it's just because I'm so new and quite difficult to find, and I'm not someone who performs live also.
Right.
So I don't know. I just hope that the more music I release, the better I become, the more engaged the audience will become, or new people. So
Well,
so the EP will be coming soon, maybe like in a month or so, or maybe a little less.
Well, make sure you send it to me, because now I have a better idea of how to tag you when I promote you, because I get an auto feed that every time your music is played, it's there's a tweet. And especially when artists send me their music, I promote it. And again, I do this on my own. I do this as a hobby because I enjoy doing it, and I get to talk to the artists I'm playing. You know, and that's really my differentiator with a lot of these promoters and things. I actually will contact and speak to the artists, and I try to stay in touch with them. But when you're done with your EP, send it to me, and I'll promote it, and just tell your friends when to listen to your music, because I think I've peppered in your music quite a few times during the lounge segment. So just drive your friends and fans to that, and just say, hey, you can hear my music playing. Because I have listeners from all over the globe. I mean, there are pockets of the world that I didn't know existed. And I get people listening, it's fun. It's amazing. I average about 1,000, a little over 1,000 a month. But again, I do this as a hobby. I have a full-time job. So I'm impressed with the listenership, and it motivates me to keep pushing it, so when I get new music from new artists, I go ahead and push it out there. Amazing. How about more videos on YouTube? You've got one called Maggie. Now, if you bear with me a second, I want to pull that up because I like that song. I really do. I really do like that song. Thanks. I want to play that. And you do. You need a couple more videos.
I do, yeah. I feel like now I've become a lot more, since I've been kind of engaging with Instagram more, I've become more comfortable with experimenting, so I think I will be putting out definitely more videos. But
this is a good video.
I didn't actually direct that. That was actually, so there was a guy that I was working with, who was kind of my manager, James, and his friend is a videographer, and he was kind of, I think, in between jobs, and he wanted to kind of film a music video, but he needed music, and he told him, like, I work with this girl, I really like this track, you might like it, and he liked it, and then they just went to, where is it, Canary Wharf in London, and just filmed James skateboarding around there, and that was it. That was the video.
But it's great.
It's really spontaneous. Yeah, it's a beautiful
great.
Video.
It's very crisp and clean, and it goes very well with the music. And I can see this. I mean, it's 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And for those folks listening and watching, this is Hail Maggiedacat. It's called Maggie on YouTube. I see an EP with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, if you could do this for 10 minutes, are you serious? Yes.
I think I will use it. I will use it. I just released and I took it back.
This is a great lounge track.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let me play just a little bit more. What I like about it, it's not rushed.
No. Yeah.
It's very.
My songs are quite long though. I think I'm very indulgent. I'm very
This is good. Do you remember The Art of Noise? Do you know who The Art of Noise is?
That sounds familiar, but
look them up.
No.
They're from the late '80s, early '90s.
Okay. Let's writing that down.
They're called The Art of Noise. You can YouTube them and just kind of listen to some of their music. This is really good.
Thank you.
It is really good. So what are you using? I'm going to turn this down in the background, but I'm going to keep it playing because I like it. So what types of equipment do you use to produce your music?
I use Ableton 8, and I've been using that for a long time. I think for the past 3 years. And I haven't used anything since because I'm still getting to grips with it.
Yeah.
And what else do I use? I use a pre-Sonus audio box. And MPK, was it a mini MPK keyboard and Novation synthesizer. That's pretty much it. My equipment is very limited in my flat because I produce my stuff at home. and
it's
a standard mic.
Well, same here. I mean, you'd never know. Yeah. I mean, I use Logic. I would tell you, I started with Reason.
Okay.
And that's like old school. That's I started with Reason. I actually had to get a manual to learn how to use it. And then I started using Ableton because Ableton came with something I bought. And I actually produced my first CD on iTunes with that. And it was like one of my best. Then I went over to, I use Logic now. But I wanted you to hear something. Okay. Let me see if I can find this. Because your song, and I had a feeling you used Ableton.
Really?
Yes.
Was it that obvious?
No. It's what? No. It's just the different sound banks. I know the sound banks.
Yeah. Okay.
I know the sound bank. No. It's not like it's like mechanical. No. Okay. Not at all. I just know the sound banks because I used it. That's all.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Cool. It's no.
I love Ableton. Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I just talked to I think his name is Hey Jody. He's a house progressive house DJ. I think he's from the UK. Okay. Yeah, and it's called Who Is Jody? I think he uses Ableton.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people use it.
It's popular. It's popular.
It's really popular, but I think other people that other producers that I've met kind of look down at it because I think they see it as being kind of the less professional version of Logic. This is what beginners use, and then they graduate eventually to using Logic. But no,
there's nothing wrong with Ableton. I've seen some guys put together some really good stuff with Ableton.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this.
Ableton's been good to me, so.
A lot of people like it. It's intuitive. Yeah. It's very intuitive.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, I just found it. Believe it or not, I had this. It's called Electronic Orgasm. It was on Napster. And wow! I know, right? And it was on iTunes. Well, let me look. This song I made is called Imagination. I just want to get your feedback and what you think. But I made this album was made with Ableton, but this song is called Imagination.
I don't know why it's making me think of Liberian Girl, Michael Jackson song. I love that track. That's amazing. It reminds me of it. It also reminds me of something else, but I can't remember.
Well, this was inspired by the Art of Noise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And here's this other one, Magnetic.
It's 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I like. This sounds like the kind of stuff they would play on like Chill FM.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I really enjoyed.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. And I really enjoyed Ableton. I really did, but I'm so hooked on Logic now because
I need to get on with that. I need to at least try because I think I'm still a part of me is intimidated by it. I feel like serious producers use Logic.
No.
I still feel
They do use it, but the intimidating was software was Cubase and Pro Tools. And I actually have a buddy who he's a Chicago house music DJ legend, and he toured the UK, and he was using Cubase and Pro Tools back in the day. And I'm like, man, I don't know how you use that. So then Ableton came out, and Logic. If you can do Ableton, you can do Logic. And the thing about it now is you can YouTube everything and learn how to use Logic.
Yeah.
But really, I think you'd like it. It's very intuitive, and I mean, unless you want to go into the stratosphere and use their drum beat machine and create your own, that's when it kind of gets a little complicated.
Yeah.
But I think you would enjoy it because it sounds better, and there's a lot more features in it. That's all. But with that song, Maggie, it literally sounds like you used live instruments.
Really? Oh, that's really amazing. Thank you.
Yes, it is excellent, and I'm telling you, you should extend that, even if you looped it.
Yeah. And
then added some different elements in it, put it out there.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely. I've been planning on like revisiting that track anyway.
It's excellent.
No.
It's excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's very good. Other than that, did you have any questions for me at all?
How long have you been doing this radio?
I failed to tell you that. I started doing this in 2006. I was working on my MBA, and I was drinking coffee, and I couldn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I started researching how to produce electronic music, and that's how I got started. Wow. And I started a station on Live 365, and it was THERUNNNER.com, and I was playing a lot of electronic, like Boards of Canada, I mean, I could go on. I mean, I was playing a lot of electronic, chill type music, and Live 365 went defunct because of a royalty issue. They couldn't compete, and so they got shut down. And so I reemerged under Airtime Pro, which actually their software, their internet is much better, much better. And so what's great is I can program all the music.
Oh wow!
And it plays. And I can create playlists, and I can shuffle them. So, like, if I feel that the rotation is getting old, I can manipulate it so that it's different every time. So, So you can say I had an hiatus, and I came back. Maybe 7-8 months ago. But I was able to reconnect with a lot of people that had already listened to my station. So it was funny because I was getting a lot of artists from Australia. It was insane.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that. And I love people from Australia. They were great. They were like, "Hey, play this. Can you play this?" And blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, not a problem." But I've made some pretty good contacts with some of these artists. And one of the artists, my very first interview, is the Cuckoos out of Austin, Texas. The guy sounds like the Doors. Their group sounds like the Doors. And, yeah, and I mean they were just getting off their feet, and they're actually coming to where you are soon. They just got a gig.
Oh,
London. Yeah, the guy just turned 21, and he sounds like Jim Morrison.
Well, Jim Morrison did die at 27, so it's not like.
Well, I know. Yeah,
he's really young,
But the fact that the guy sounds just like Jim Morrison.
That's amazing.
They've got a psychedelic sound. It's beautiful. So I've been having fun with this, and I'm going to interview some more folks. But as you get more music, especially these EPs, this one, Maggie, you got to get on that one and get that to me.
No, I will.
And your new
I will. I feel encouraged now.
Oh yeah.
I will do it. Yeah.
Well, if I reached out to you, you got good music. Okay. All I'm gonna say to you is listen to my station, and you'll hear the music. I don't play garbage. Okay. Yeah, and if you're into R&B and rap, I play a couple hours of rap on Thursday. Some people like it, some people don't. But I'm playing like KRS-One and Wu-Tang Clan. I play that, and I just put on Onyx and some other stuff. But I'm playing the old school stuff. Yeah. And I do, some of the indie rappers, I will add. But anyway, just check out the station when you get a chance. You can play it at THERUNNNER.com. You just click on the player, and whenever you want to send me some more music, just upload it from my website at THERUNNNER.com. I will. And just
I think you have to do that now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'll get a message automatically that you did it. Okay.
Okay.
So cool. Hey, what was your real name?
It's Maggiedacat.
Maggiedacat.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Maggiedacat. Okay.
It
was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And
thanks.
As you continue to grow, I'll touch base with you again, and we can set up another interview.
That'd be amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. No, thank you for the time and the music.
Thank you for your belief. Thank you for your encouragement. It's been really.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't lie to you. You got some good music. Okay. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, well, hey, enjoy your weekend, and you take care.
Same to you.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye now.